Every farm on the planet answers one quiet question. How much labor, money, and resources do you pour into each acre of land? The answer separates intensive agriculture from extensive agriculture, and AP Human Geography Unit 5 uses that single distinction to test scale, technology, productivity, and rural land use across the entire world. Intensive agriculture pours large amounts of labor, capital, fertilizer, or technology into a small piece of land to maximize output per acre. You see it in wet rice paddies in Southeast Asia, in vegetable market gardens near cities, in greenhouse production, and in factory-style dairy or poultry operations. Whenever the AP STEM describes high labor per area, small fields, or repeated planting, the answer is intensive. Extensive agriculture goes the opposite direction. It spreads low inputs across very large pieces of land, producing high total output without much investment per acre. Think cattle ranching in the American West, wheat farming on the Great Plains, or shifting cultivation in tropical frontiers. The land is cheap, the area is enormous, the labor and capital per acre are low, and the operation depends on scale to make money. There is a one-step test that sorts every intensive versus extensive question on the AP exam. Ask whether the labor and capital per acre are high or low. High inputs per acre means intensive. Low inputs per acre means extensive. Field size alone is a clue, but not the answer. A small subsistence rice plot is intensive. A massive wheat operation in Kansas is extensive. Always run the inputs per acre test before you commit to a label. The location pattern follows the inputs. Intensive agriculture tends to cluster near cities, on expensive land, where markets are close and high-value crops or animals justify big investment. Extensive agriculture spreads across cheap rural land far from markets, where low-value commodities like grain or grazing animals fit the long distances and big acreages. This is the foundation for von Thunen logic that you will see in the next unit. The biggest trap on this topic is confusing intensive versus extensive with subsistence versus commercial. They are independent dimensions. Intensive can be subsistence, like wet rice in monsoon Asia, or commercial, like a California strawberry farm. Extensive can be subsistence, like nomadic herding in arid zones, or commercial, like Argentine cattle ranching. Always sort each axis separately and label both when the prompt asks. On any intensive versus extensive FRQ, define both terms. Give one geographic example of each. Name at least one structural difference, like labor density or land area, and connect it to a real-world consequence like productivity, soil stress, or rural land prices. That four-part structure consistently maxes out the rubric, and graders reward students who treat the two systems as different tools for different conditions, rather than one being better than the other.
You can drill 20 flashcards and 8 AP-style practice questions on intensive versus extensive agriculture in under 15 minutes using the link below. That is the difference between a 3 and a 5. Subscribe for new AP videos every week.